So listen, I want the world to know that Billboard is a lie. You can buy number ones on Billboard. I want that to register in your head. You can buy number ones on Billboard. Now let me tell you what happened. We was having an ongoing investigation just now. Silvio from Billboard, right? There's like probably 5 or 6 of them that come up with the charts with Nielsen and everything. Last Thursday, Ariana Was Stuck With You submitted 60,000 units last second. With the investigation, we found this. They purchased half of those things with 6 credit cards. When we asked where was those 6 credit cards linked to, Billboard said we can't disclose that information. Understand this. They bought 30,000 and so units with 6 credit cards. 6 credit cards. Now, again, you're going to enjoy your number one. Explain how you buy 30,000 with 6 credit cards, right? Now, let me explain to you something. They don't want, Billboard doesn't want no one to know this. Now I understand why Jay-Z and Nicki Minaj say Billboard, like we used to look up to number one, to Billboard, but now it's like we know you can, it's all manipulated, right? It's all fabricated. You can buy number ones. This is what these artists do, right? And it's not fair. I want you to see this. Gooba streamed 50 million streams, and this is what they're counting only, 50 million streams, right? They only counted, look what Billboard counts. They only counted 31 million. Billboard illegally disqualified 20 million streams so it can drop down and the people who bought the number one, which was Stuck With You, can go to number one. Look at this. 31 million, which places us at 38 points. When in 5th place, you were stuck at 32 points. 6 credit cards buys you 36 credit. Listen, you can buy number ones on Billboard. I'm letting you know that. We just did a whole investigation and their best answer was, we can't disclose that information. Now, Billboard, if you want to explain to all the hard-working artists out there, the hard-working artists and established artists at that, because there's a lot of established artists right now that don't get number ones and don't understand why. It's like looking at an apple, right? An apple sometimes is most likely red, right? There's green apples, but just look at this. There's apples that are red, right? And you're looking at an apple, and this is what we did with Billboard. Yo, explain how you deduct. If there's 50 million streams, right, on Gooba, why only count 30 million, right? So it's like looking at an apple and say, I'm obviously looking at you and you're red, but you're not, but you're telling us it's not red. You got caught cheating red-handed, right? And say, no, we can't disclose that information. We can't. I want the world to know. You can buy number ones. If you're part of a label, just say, listen, I want part of my budget. Just buy me a number one record. Because that's what you're doing, right? And it's not fair to artists who work. I got the biggest record. Let's show you Google, right? Compared to these other records. And if you want to compete with this is in 1 week, right? Zoom in on that. If you want to compete, this is 184 million, and you counted 30 million streams and disqualify everything else because Billboard. This video to address Ariana. I don't want you to think that I'm coming at you. Not saying that you're not talented, not saying that you can't sing. You're a beautiful singer. You just don't understand my pain. My frustration is from Billboard. I speak for the millions of kids that come from nothing, right? Let me show you something. For all of this, we come from some place, right? This is where I came from before all of this fame. This was actually my home where me, my mom, my brother, his girlfriend, my girlfriend, my daughter lived. This was the first computer I bought to learn how to edit videos myself. Like, this was like, I spent my last couple of dollars buying this shit. I want you to understand that I come from a different background than you, right? My mom used to collect cans, right? On the street. I used to bust tables, be a dishwasher. I'm going to show you what...
Payola, in the music industry, is the illegal practice of payment or other inducement by record companies for the broadcast of recordings on commercial radio in which the song is presented as being part of the normal day's broadcast. Under U.S. Law, 47 Us. See paragraph 317, a radio station can play a specific song in exchange for money, but this must be disclosed on the air as being sponsored airtime, and that play of the song should not be counted as a regular airplay. The term has come to refer to any secret payment made to cast a product in a favorable light, such as obtaining positive reviews. Some radio stations report spins of the newest and most popular songs to industry publications. The number of times the songs are played can influence the perceived popularity of a song. The term payola is a combination of pay and ola, a common suffix of product names in the early 20th century, such as pianola, Victrola, Amberola, Crayola, or brands such as the radio equipment manufacturer Motorola. Payola has come to mean the payment of a bribe in commerce and in law to say or do a certain thing against the rules of law, but more specifically a commercial bribe. The FCC defines payola as a violation of the sponsorship identification rule that in 2005-06 resulted in tens of millions of dollars in fines to cable corporations in New York. Payola, in one form or another, is as old as the music business. In earlier eras there was not much public scrutiny of the reasons songs became hits. The ad agencies which had labored for NBC radio and TV show Your Hit Parade for 20 years refused to reveal the specific methods that were used to determine top hits, only stating generally that they were based on readings of radio requests, sheet music sales, dance hall favorites and jukebox tabulations. Attempts to create a code to stop payola were met with lukewarm appreciation by publishers. Prosecution for payola in the 1950s was in part a reaction of the traditional music establishment against newcomers. Hit radio was a threat to the wages of songplugers. Radio hits also threatened old revenue streams. For example, by the middle of the 1940s, 3/4 of the records produced in the USA went into jukeboxes. Still, in the 1950s, independent record companies or music publishers frequently used payola to promote rock and roll on American radio. It promoted cultural diversity and disc jockeys were less inclined to indulge their own personal and racial biases.